This car has embarrassed Ferraris, Lamborghinis, McLarens, and almost every supercar you can think of for nearly 50 years. And the craziest part, it still looks like a Porsche 911. No outrageous styling, no screaming Vitkov, no exotic badge, just a silhouette that has barely changed since the 1960s. Yet time and time again, this car is lined up beside the world's fastest machines and driven away ahead. But that wasn't always the plan, because the first Porsche 911 Turbo wasn't created to become the ultimate everyday supercar. It was created because Porsche wanted to win races. Instead, they accidentally created one of the most terrifying road cars ever built, a machine so unforgiving that it earned one of the most infamous nicknames in the automotive history, the Widowmaker. This is the complete story of the Porsche 911 Turbo, from the monster that scared experienced drivers to the Supercar Killer that has spent 50 years destroying the competition. By the early 1970s, Porsche had already established itself as a master of lightweight sports car. The 911 was loud for its balance, precision, and unmistakable character. But the automotive world was changing. Ferrari was building faster cars. Lamborghini was pushing boundaries. Motorsport was becoming more competitive than ever before. Porsche needed something extraordinary. At the same time, other race technology was proving itself on race tracks around the world. Turbocharging. Instead of increasing the engine size, engineers discovered they could force more air into a smaller engine and unlock dramatic increase in power. Porsche saw an opportunity. If turbocharging could dominate endurance racing, why couldn't it transform a road car? It was an ambitious idea, but nobody knew just how wild that experiment would become. In 1975, Porsche introduced the first 911 Turbo, known internally as 930. At first glance, it looked aggressive. Wide rear edges, massive tires, and that enormous rear spoiler that enthusiasts would later nickname the whale tail. Underneath sat a turbocharged Flight 6, producing performance that shocked the automotive world. But there was a problem. Turbo technology in the 1970s was crude. Below certain engine speeds, almost nothing happened. Then suddenly when the turbocharger woke up, power arrived all at once, like somebody had flipped a switch. Drivers who weren't prepared often discovered that the hardest part wasn't accelerating. It was surviving the acceleration. The 930 demanded absolute respect, and it gave absolutely nothing for free. To understand the 930, you have to understand its layout. The engine sat behind the rear axle. That meant incredible traction under acceleration. But it also meant that whenever the rear lost grip, everything happens incredibly fast. Imagine entering a corner, you lift off the throttle, the rear becomes light, then the turbo suddenly delivers full boost. The weight shifts, the brake steps out, and before many drivers even realized what had happened, the car was already facing the wrong direction. There was no advanced stability system, no electric safety nets, no launch control, just you and over 250 horsepower arriving like an explosion. The 930 quickly earned the nickname the Widowmaker. Whether it entirely deserved it or not, the reputation became legendary. It wasn't a bad car. It simply demanded skill. And if you respected it, it rewarded you just like few machines ever built. So Porsche listened, not because they wanted the turbo to become slower, but because they wanted more people to experience what made it special. The 964 generation brought better suspension, ABS, and improved refinements. Then came the 993. For many enthusiasts, this was one of the greatest 911s ever built. More importantly, it introduced the twin turbochargers and all-wheel drive to the turbo. Turbo leg became smaller, grip increased dramatically, confidence replaced fear. Porsche hadn't removed the excitement. They had simply learned how to control it. Generation after generation, the engineers continued refining the formula, never abandoning the turbo's identity, only improving it. The arrival of the 996 marked another turning point. Water cooling, even more power, greater reliability. Then came the brilliant 997. This wasn't just another facelift. It became one of the most technological advanced performance cars in the world. Variable turbine geometry reduced turbo lag even further. Launch control delivered repeatable blistering starts. The PDK dual clutch transmission shifted faster than any human ever could. Every innovation made one thing possible: more speed with less effort. And suddenly the Porsche 911 Turbo wasn't just quick. It became devastatingly efficient. Anyone could drive it quickly. Very few cars could keep up. Then came the generation that cemented the Turbo's legend, the 991, and eventually the incredible 992 Turbo S. On paper, they were faster looking cars. Cars with louder exhausts, more dramatic doors, more aggressive styling. But when the traffic lights turned green, the numbers told a different story. Again and again, the Turbo embarrassed machines costing twice as much. Ferraris, Lamborghinis, McLarens. It wasn't just about horsepower. It was about putting every single horsepower to work. All-wheel drive, intelligent electronics, lightning-fast gear changes, relentless traction. The result was acceleration so violent that even supercar owners struggled to believe it. Yet after setting astonishing performance, you could drive it home in traffic, take it to work the next morning, drive across the country, then return it to a racetrack that weekend. That combination remains almost unmatched. Most supercars demand compromises. They're unforgettable, temperamental, expensive to maintain, designed to be thrilling even if they become exhausting to live with. The Porsche 911 Turbo chose a different path. Every generation became fast, smart, more capable, more usable, without ever forgetting where it came from. The original 930 terrified drivers because it asked everything from them. The latest 99 Turbo S achieves impossible speed because it gives drivers confidence. That evolution is what makes the Turbo so special. Not because it became the loudest, not because it became the most exotic, but because for nearly 50 years, Porsche never stopped perfecting the same idea. A car capable of humiliating supercars on Saturday and taking you comfortably to work on Monday. Perhaps that's why the Porsche 911 Turbo has never needed to reinvent itself. It only needed to become better. Generation after generation, year after year, for 50 years, it has quietly done something impossible. It has destroyed supercars without even trying to look like one. And that may be the greatest achievement in automotive history.